Hi, I'm Micki Lavin-Pell, marriage, family, sex, and trauma therapist.
And I'm Molly Livingstone, comedian and alternative thinking consultant. And this is Let's Start. On today's episode, we are talking about Let's Start dating in our marriages.
Woohoo!
It sounds worse than it is, though.
No.
Well, it's hard. I think why we're talking about it is that I was saying this before we started recording is I talk to a lot of my friends and like when you have to date in your marriage, you see I said have to, you schedule it. It's not that fun. Like I wonder if he's going to call and then I'm going to like think of what to wear and how it's going to go.
It's hard to build the excitement.
Yes. Like now it's like, what are we going to talk about? Because I'm afraid I'll just talk about like kid stuff and this or that. So
that is a habit that a lot of people get into. Is
I
people, bet. They just talk. They just come up with a whole laundry list of things that they haven't been able to share with their husband or partner because they haven't seen them all day, or they're continuing on from their WhatsApp list that they send. Do the laundry, press this.
Yeah,
do
exactly.
That.
I was like, the laundry list has the laundry on the list.
It's on the list.
Yeah.
Are you making this for dinner? We've eaten this too many times. I think we got to mix it up a little bit.
There's 4,000 WhatsApp groups. Did you read any of them?
Yeah.
Because I did.
Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. And so people get so bogged down by the daily mundane grind, and they think that they're going to bring that onto the date. But the last thing you want to do is talk about that crap on the date. But then you're also struggling with finding time to actually talk about the stuff that you have to actually talk about.
Yeah.
And that's really the challenge there.
Yeah. And I'll even say like a step further. A lot of the times, if we don't talk about that, what's like a good, deep conversation? Politics. Ain't nobody want to talk about politics, especially, you know, us living in Israel and we're on very different sides of it and him serving in the army.
That makes things exciting and spicy.
Yeah, except it's depressing as well. Like, you know, we get to a point where we're just fighting and we're like, stop. And that's not like, oh, you know, pass your plate. I'd like to take a sample after I just told you, like, die, you're wrong. Joking, of course.
So I mean, I guess we really need to think about how can we really make the whole marriage date night. Yeah. If you're married or if you're in a committed relationship, how can you make it more exciting, right?
Yeah, and I'm sure you deal with this a lot in your practice.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Basically, what you really need to do is you really need to think about topics that you want to talk about. Really, like kind of, it needs to be very planned in a very intricate way. You need to think about where you want to go, what you want to do, and doing dinner all the time. Yeah, that's okay, whatever, if you're really a foodie. But sometimes that gets a bit stale, especially if you go to the same place all the time. So you want to try to mix it up and go to different places, do different things.
Do an activity.
Do an activity together. You could go, you know, wall climbing or going for a walk somewhere or go to the Botanical Gardens or leave your actual city, which is sometimes hard, especially, you know, with the war on and different things like that. And you don't want to schlep around so much and then have more babysitting time. But whatever, you know, once in a while, you need to really mix it up and do different things. So that's one thing. But the other thing is like the what to talk about. And what I find really helps is when you think about things, when you talk about things that you're excited about, that you're looking forward to in the future, or fantasies that you have about the future. Let's say it's really hard to go on vacation now because the budget's tight, it's very tight for a lot of people. So you want to maybe fantasize about when we do have enough money, what would we like to do? And even some people come up with crazy ideas about how to do things on a shoestring budget. That's what I've been hearing from a lot of my clients lately is that they manage to do stuff on a shoestring budget. I mean, I'm learning from them. It's like,
that's
wow.
Like another episode we should do then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's start
planning your life on a shoestring budget. Which is like always for some of us. But yeah, I mean, talk about like, okay, if we do it on a shoestring budget, what's it going to look like if we could just splash out and we had all the money in the world, what would we really want to do? Where would we want to go? How would we go about doing it? And really fantasize about those kinds of things. And of course, steering things far away from the kids, even though the kids often do come into our plans, but really even thinking like far beyond, like if we didn't have to think about the kids.
I want to ask you what you think about as like dating if it's couples, like a double date. Do you recommend that or not?
That's a tough one. Look, I think double dates can be good, except I think what sometimes happens to couples on double dates is they compare.
Ooh.
You know, oh, well, you're not as exciting as that one, or if you were more like this. That can be challenging. I know a lot of couples who have their group of friends that they constantly go out with, but then they don't actually make intimate time for each other. And so what ends up happening is the double date takes over the date night, because how much time do we honestly have? It's not like we have oodles and oodles of spare time and money to go around, right? So
And then I have
think we have to
another
be careful
question.
about that.
What would be better instead of going out once a week? I mean, if that's the recommendation, I have no idea.
Presumably,
Okay.
once a week would be great.
Would it be better to save that money and go to a hotel for like a night, which like detaches you more from your reality?
That's a good question. Well, first of all, you could also do like a date night you could do a date night in your house if money is really, but you have to be, if you're going to do it in your home, you have to be very creative about it, and you have to really make sure you know like what you're doing. The phones are totally away, screens are away, and it's really about doing an activity that is different to what you would normally be doing, so that you can then save up money to have that. I mean, if you could do both, great. But for those people who can't, right? Then what you want to do is you want to be able to try to save, do the carved out thing in your home, like playing a game, turn on the music, dance,
Yeah.
or order food in, or literally do a candlelight dinner, like literally get the candle out and do it in your house, and make it like get the atmosphere going, get some jazz music playing, like really think about the whole ambiance thing, so you could really make it dating.
And one of the kids comes down and is like, "It's too loud." I guess my question for you is, okay, on the surface it's sort of obvious to couples, like you got to keep the spark going, and that's why you date. But is there anything like more professional that will also help to convince me? Because as a really busy mom, wife, full-time worker, also want to have time for myself, also have exercise, also have time for my friends, it's hard to tell me that not only do you have to find this day or night once a week, but then you have to plan everything. So like I hate to say that you have to sell me on it, but I'm just curious if besides telling me it's important to keep the spark, can you like go just a little bit deeper to make me feel like I really want to commit to this?
What is that? I'm convincing you of the fact that it's really important to go out on a date.
Yeah.
But I'm convincing that that's what I'm convincing you of.
I mean,
Yeah.
convince is a strong word. I just think that
Sell it to you.
a lot of people who will watch this
Yeah.
are not going on dates with their spouse, with their
Yeah.
partner. And when you're saying, well, all you have to do is schedule it and then plan everything to the detail, then they're like, guess what? That's what I'm not gonna do,
because it feels like too much work.
Yeah, and if you're like, oh, just keep
Right.
the spark alive, it's like, I get it, I guess. Can you give me a little bit more to make me feel like why I should
be doing this?
really want to do this?
Basically, it really helps kindle your connection with your partner. It really helps build intimacy. And while there is work involved, guess what, Molly? Marriage is work.
I know, it's
Long-term
the worst
relationships
part.
are work. Yeah, it just is
so hard.
It just is, and it's kind of funny how so many people thought, oh, dating is so hard. Why do I have to do it? It's so much work. I'm like, oh, sister, if you think dating is hard, get ready for marriage. It's going to be so much more. Like anything we want to do in life is work. Work is work. Of course, what we want to do is we want to try to infuse fun into our lives, and we need to do that in order to keep the spark alive. It's just a part of things. It helps keep the communication going. It helps us to really build appreciation for the other person, and it helps to, it just helps to keep the fun and keeps the spark alive.
So for you, have you told couples like your homework is to go date, and what have you seen after that? Like, does it really improve the relationship?
Well, I wouldn't it's really going to be a case-by-case basis what I'm going to say to people. I mean, for me, it's a sine qua non that you have, like, dating has to be,
Sine qua non?
it has to be in there. It's just one of those things that has to be a part of your life, right? But it's for each couple I'm going to be working with, I'm going to be tweaking exactly what I say and how I suggest it to them, right? For some people who are not doing any dating at all, and it's just not part of their world, I'm going to be going a lot slower with them and lower their expectations of what it is that they're going to be expecting. And for people who are already doing it, we're going to figure out little ways of how we could tweak it and enhance it and make it a lot more exciting than what it is. I mean, every couple comes in with so many different expectations. I mean, I've got couples where one expects a really intimate, fun, emotional connection and the other person doesn't, and it's not always the woman, by the way. I do get excited by the fact that I do see men wanting more of the emotional connection and not the other way, so that really does happen. Yeah, absolutely. I think you actually might be one of those people, Molly. Not that you're my client, but I think David actually might be one of those guys who wants more of the emotional connection. Yeah. Probably.
I think so. You're right.
So yeah, we got Exhibit A right here.
It's the quandary that is me. Well, you're saying that it's case by case, and that I was saying, what do you see when they go on dates? Are they closer? Are they more communicative when they come in afterwards? Like,
so I have to really set some ground rules, right? That's the first thing we got to do, is really put some ground rules out there so that we can really help to foster that connection, to really deepen it, and also really to help them really realize that they're supposed to show appreciation for one another and really what that means to build a connection.
Yeah.
Right? It's not
really
just
important.
like, okay, I'm going to sit there, we're going to eat some food, we're going to stare at each other for 5 minutes, then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do that. Like, you can't, it's not like a technique-y, like I'm not building a screen set for them. This is not a film. This is their life.
Yeah.
And they need to create that for themselves. I can't do that for them. They have to think for themselves, what do I really want in my life other than being able to have a functioning home? And when people come to work with me, I'm hoping that they want a little bit more than just, I don't want to get divorced and I don't have to split my kids and my assets and my everything, right? The idea of marriage has to be so much more than that. Otherwise, it's just not, it doesn't feel like it's worth it.
Right.
Right? And so I really want to help couples really think about what is it that they really want from this relationship. And then I have couples coming at the other end of the spectrum who are, the kids are already out of the house. They've got oodles of time. They don't know what the heck to do with themselves.
Oh, man.
Because they've been together for so long and their focus has been so long on the kids.
Yes.
Or on the job or on the having enough money. And they haven't really been able to somehow balance out their life and really think about how are we, like, what do we want this next 25, 30, 50 years of our lives to look like?
Wow. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So the date, I like what you said, because it's very important to not just go through the motions of it, but to build up to it. And I think that could be really important for a lot of people that watch this and listen to this, that you can't just put the Band-Aid and say, okay, we lost the spark, let's go on a date. Yeah. It's kind of like, no, there are the building blocks so that the date is actually good.
You want to try to make it as good as possible.
Yeah. So
you want to make it a positive thing that you want to actually do.
Yeah. And in the short version of this, right, we do the long version, which is like podcast, and this is it. This is what it looks like. And then we have a short version where we give you like the quick tip. Like what is just a basic thing that you can already grasp and start doing. Yeah. So definitely watch both. Definitely share this with people that you feel like could use this. I would say, even though we're talking about marriage, obviously anyone who's in a long-term relationship, this applies. Like, it's that point where you're not single and dating, but you're actually with a partner and dating. And what does that look like? How do you keep it going? Okay, I think we've given them enough. I mean, this should be good for, you can use this material for your date. I mean, if you
I hope so.
That'll be good.
I hope so. I hope you could, even use this to spark a conversation and say, oh, I totally don't agree with her. I agree with her, not with her.
It's probably going to be mostly me, as usual. You like it. All right, well, this has been another episode of Let's Start. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that episode of Let's Start, it's easy to keep listening or watching. All you have to do is
follow us on Micki Lavin-Pell on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook, or check out my website, lovingwisely.co.il.
What are you waiting for? Let's start.